did these things that the government talks about in this declassified document, they were basically running around in our government, like running around in our Pentagon, having with no sort of like pushback from our government at the time. But that was just like the point I was just trying to stick. I didn't really mean to like digress or like go off on a tangent.
Oh no, it's fine. All right, Kensho, did you have anything else?
Sure, that was it.
All right, cool. I appreciate you being up here. Papa Zan, are you there?
I am, yes.
All right, cool. You said you disagree with something I got on the board. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
All right, cool. What did you disagree with?
It's going to be the defund police and abolish the prison. Well, just the defund police part.
The defund police part. All right, cool. What's why? Okay, cool. Tell me why you disagree.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about what I do. I am in law enforcement to some capacity. I don't work in the jail. So I kind of want to get your thoughts on it first and why you kind of believe that, so that way I can understand where you're coming from when you say stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I say stuff like defund the police.
Defund the police. Yeah.
They don't seem to be a positive force. They seem most of it is like when it comes to police are more a reactionary force and more of a militant force that we see in our communities. They're more reactionary to violence. They don't actually deter it in the longer range, like in the overall, they don't seem to deter violence or solve violence or crime anyway, and they seem to be a net negative. So I would say that we would use the money that they use for militarization and investigating victimless crimes and use that money to actually do things that would deter crime, like alleviating poverty, programs into education, things like that.
Okay. So I agree with a little bit of what you said. I don't agree with all of it. I think that you're absolutely right. Policing is a lot of reactionary stuff. But a lot of that comes from lack of police training. When I was a police officer, we had a very low training budget, and it mostly went to, putting people through the academy. And I put in for like 8 different classes on how to, intercept, drunk drivers and such like that. They were denied because we had overtime to pay because we had a mass exodus in 2020 of officers that retired. So it was like, hey, we're all working mandatory overtime because, we were going through the riots and all that. So I was working 16 hours a day, just pure riot control. I've moved on. I've kind of elevated my position. I no longer am a police officer. But I think that, we need more money for training because the more officers are trained, the more they're able to, number one, not violate someone's rights. So the Fourth Amendment is the most important amendment, in my opinion, other than the, free speech, because that protects you from unreasonable searches and seizures, which a lot of people, or a lot of police officers rather, they're not the best at not violating someone's rights. And I'll be the first guy to say that. I know plenty of people who are like, hey, you shouldn't do that. Stop what you're doing. But I think if we said, hey, let's get our officers more training, you would, number one, have higher quality officers leading that training, and they would be more proactive with stopping stuff. So say, for example, I'm not going to go into any huge cases or anything like that. But in the southwest border, there's a huge flow of, illegal substances, going into the country. I worked several, cases where someone was unalived by that usage. And so I was like, hey, I've had enough of this. I want to actually go make a difference. So the training that I received, to intercept that stuff, has really just impacted, one particular area. I'm not going to say where I'm from. But I think that we need more funding for training. I don't think defunding the police as a whole is going to help because, you look at San Francisco, you look at Portland, you look at Seattle, they have way less officers and their crime rates have went down because they don't respond to, broken in vehicles and stuff like that. That's why their crime stats are lower. So I think that we need to add more training, and we need to have a more rigorous process for officers to come in. I think that, bringing in, military guys isn't probably the best way to do that. I served 3 years in the military as an officer. So
6.
You did 6?
I did 6. Mm-hmm.
You did 6? Okay. And I got medically discharged, unfortunately, so I didn't get to make it through. But, advertising fractured my pelvis. It was a rough thing.
That sucks. I'm sorry. They gave you your disability though, right?
They did.
Yeah, they better have. Shit. No, they tried to screw my guy. He said to not give. I was a staff sergeant. They tried to screw one of my guys. I was like, nah, you're gonna give him his disability. But my bad. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah, you're good. So I think that a lot of police departments are like, hey, we'll waive a college requirement for 2 years military, and you being a staff sergeant at some point, I'm guessing you were a platoon sergeant, probably, right? Is that accurate?
Well, I was Air Force. It was within my shop. I had 2 guys under me.
Okay. So you kind of, so I served in the Army. I was an infantry officer. So a lot of those guys are like the lowest common denominator. And it's like, why are we advertising, power and authority to guys who, are only trained for one particular thing, which is to close with and destroy the enemies of the United States. So I think that we should raise requirements for officers. For example, instead of the minimum age in most states of 21, up it to 24, because 21-year-old guy, does 3 years in the military. He's not mature yet. He's still that gung ho, like, oh, I'm infantry, former infantry, and they bring that to the police force. And I'm like, we need to raise standards, but we don't need to cut funding. I think when you recruit better quality candidates and you can actually have people who are mature, then you can start, using training. But the problem with so many big cities is that they have to bring in so many people, and you kind of get bottom of the barrel candidates. But I'm 100% for abolishing the prison industry. I think Arkansas, how they do that, I think is ridiculous, where you have to have a certain minimum number of inmates at one time. That's ridiculous.
Gotcha. No, here's the thing. I think I agree with basically all of that. We need better, higher quality training. But when we say defund the police, the way I use is the money is more reallocate the funds. So the money that we use for like militarization and doing reactionary stuff, that should go to like alleviating the things that actually cause crime, and we can do what you said at the same time, raising the standards for policing. I've always said that I think in some countries you need a bachelor's to be an officer. We may not need to go there, but I do think some sort of degree requirement or in some sort of just like how you said, requirements into the training programs of knowing de-escalation, knowing how to not violate someone's rights, knowing what the Fourth Amendment is, knowing what the First Amendment is, things like that. I think those should be minimum requirements in order to become a police officer. And just like how you said, advertising power and authority to guys who were in the infantry. No disrespect to guys who were in the infantry, but I know a lot of things happen over there that can mess with your mind. So going through rigorous therapies, psychosomatic testing, stuff like that, if you really do want to become a police officer, education, knowing how to not violate people's rights, et cetera, et cetera. I do know like people who are in battle, who go over there and see battle, if they let their pew pew off, they need to actually, I think you have to write a report or why you let it off and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You need to prove why, or you will go to jail. You know what I mean? So like, there's a lot of regulations in that, if I'm not mistaken, if I know correctly from my Army buddy.
So from like negligent discharges, like you wouldn't necessarily go to jail unless like you, it's toward a person and say like you get out of your car and you're like, hey, let me see your hands, and you're so amped up you pop a round off. That's
right. That's what I mean.
Okay. Yeah. So there's definitely
that's what I mean. You actually have to justify why you let the rounds off. You know what I mean? And if you can't, there's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Like we need more of that. I think that standard right there is awesome. That should be in policing as well. I'm not sure if it is, but if it's not, it needs to be. You see what I'm saying? So like things like that. I think we agree mostly. We probably just disagree on tactics, because I think the funding that we use for militarization in police need to go somewhere else. You said it should go to training. I won't even disagree with that.
So I will say that I do disagree with the militarization. Like I said, I'm not going to say all that I do with the government, but when I worked in a relatively large city, I served on the department SWAT team, so I kind of have a, I have a dog in the fight a little bit with it. So in my opinion, so I've been on the Bearcat before, serving high risk warrants, and fortunately I never received fire from somebody, but that's something that we have there. Just for an example, we had a guy who had illegal firearms. I'll say like the ATF classified them as machine guns. So we went in there with the ATF team. We were on standby. And we kind of needed that because, had we taken, fire and we just had, shields rated for, I would say like 9mm, or some of them are rated a little higher for like intermediate cartridges, but a lot of police officers are equipped with, 9mm, and not everyone can have a shield. So I think we need that. But when it comes to like outfitting, every single officer with super tactical gear, like a fast helmet, and you know what I'm talking about, like fast helmets and all that. I don't think that's necessary. Like, give him rifle-rated plates, in case of an, active, for example, the schools, like, give him that, and issue a, intermediate rifle just for those scenarios. But no, I agree that we are. So I serve, federally. I'll just say that I'm alluding to some federal law enforcement.
Now you don't have to let us know. I don't want you to dox yourself, but it's okay. Go ahead.
I'm not going to dox myself. There's like 180 different agencies. Good luck trying to figure out which one it is.
Yeah, true. True. Go ahead.
So, but I think, that we need some of that. We don't need a lot of it. For example, like I don't think that, a small town police department, say in, I don't know, Georgia, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think they need a Bearcat. And I think that's a very gross misallocation of their resources. If your county has 20,000 people living in it, you don't need a Bearcat. I worked in a very large department. We had a Bearcat, and that's for, high risk stuff. But no, I think you have a reasonable thought on it. I thought you were going to be completely like, hey, the police need to go away forever. And I'm like, I'd be out of a job, and we do some.
Yeah, that's not possible for us to do at the moment. Like we would have to become like a complete stateless society in order for that to happen, and I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. So yeah, I do understand where people are coming from when they talk about abolishing the entire policing because of where it originated from, where it came from. It needs to be started from the top, from the bottom down, like from the bottom up. I'm sorry. I do understand that. It's just that actually doing that is, how do we actually do that? You see what I'm saying? So yeah. That's where I always have an issue with, which I always say, let's go ahead and take a look at police, reallocate these funds, see what we can do for more training. I do agree with all of that. You see what I'm saying? Because I think money should be more well spent. Like resources should be more well spent on alleviating the issues that police deal with and having them only keep the peace like they're supposed to do. Would you mind just give me 1 second? Crap, someone left. Would you mind just give me 1 second, Papa? Swift, you there?
Yeah.
Cool. Are you over 18? You disagree with anything I got on the board?
I'm 32. And
gotcha.
I don't disagree.
Okay, go ahead.
I slightly disagree with the defunding the police thing and the abolishing prisons part.
Okay, cool. Give me 1 second. Let me just finish off with Zan. Tim Taylor, you can go ahead and request up, and then we can go ahead and talk about that. And there was someone else in the comments. I'm not sure whether, I think his name was Ziggy. You can also request up and we can talk about that. Zan, we got about 2 more minutes. You have anything left for me, or we're good?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of say one thing, and sure. I always like to find common ground. I think you and I would agree, there's nothing more that both of us would love that police officers are not needed. And I would love to be out of a job someday. And it's an unfortunate reality, but hopefully, with these kind of conversations, we can possibly find really great, solutions to the issues that we have. Because I'm not blind to the issues. I served, as a police officer on the line. I served as an Army officer. So I think that, I think a lot of people have great ideas, and we just need to work on bringing those to the table and talking about them. But I won't take up any more of your time. I just really appreciate you speaking with me and, being cordial and all that.
Not a problem. Zan, I appreciate you. You have a good night, all right?
Absolutely. You too.
Alrighty. All right, Swift, I appreciate you being up here. Give me one more moment. I'm sorry. Justin, you there?
Yo.
What's up? All right, so you over 18 and do you disagree with anything I have on the board?
Yeah, I disagree with reparations.
Gotcha. All right, mute off me real quick. Let me talk to Swift real quick. Guys, we're at how much likes are we at? We're at about 13K likes. We got 52 people in here. I know all 52 people don't agree with me, so if you disagree with me, go ahead and request up. We can go ahead and have a discussion. Y'all go ahead and keep liking it live. Let's try to get us to about 20,000 tonight. And I do have a gift goal. Remember, if you agree with anybody that's on the panel, gift them and follow them as well. Swift, you disagree slightly with defund and abolish the prison industry. Let me know what you disagree with.
Let me say I don't belong to any political party, so I don't have. I did vote for Madam Vice President.
Sure.
So so I just want to. So I don't want anybody to misconstrue what I'm about to say. But as far as defunding the police, I don't think defunding would be a good a proper term. My question was for the guy that was up here, Papa Zen, and yourself. What do you think about decentralized community policing?
I think it's a good idea. I think decentralized community policing is a good idea. The only reason why I think it can't happen yet, or it's going to be hard for it to happen yet, is because of the funding. If we were to defund the police, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's the thing I would kind of like, if we wanted to not really defund the police in a sense, you can reallocate that money for decentralized policing and just have the police as but not really a buffer, but like a backup system for like harder cases, like for like those like
the violent
murders and rape cases. And with the prisons, I get the whole like the school to prison pipeline, and I think that's egregious for those things. But I do think like we do need those places for like the people like who are like very very like hardcore, like the rapists and the mass shooters and stuff like that. But as far as like nonviolent crimes, I'm totally in agreement. Like those are things that we can rehab back into society in.
Right. Yeah, yeah, so we basically agree, to your truth. Jonesy, what's up?
I was going to ask, did you get age restricted? Because I noticed that the views dropped after the one guest mentioned the M drug.
Yeah, but I don't see a restriction. I'm still good. Everything's still green. It's probably just TikTok being like once you start to talk to someone and the likes start not happening, it starts to drop. The views start to drop. Yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure.
No, not.
And I also kind of like with the whole like being woke thing. I don't really believe that anything is woke. I feel like a lot of YT people have bastardized the meaning of it.
They have.
And they have taken like what us as black people already know, because I grew up that being woke means being culturally aware that people that say that they're on your side are not really on your side. And that's what I grew up with being woke means. But I think a lot of YT people, especially the people that's in the conservative Republican Party, have bastardized that word in any other black term or any other black terminology that we understand, and some YT people understand what it means. They've taken it and just used it as a political propaganda tool.
Yeah, exactly. Like literally, woke just means to be aware. Like how Truth said in the comments. Woke just literally means to be aware. Yeah, I mean being aware of social injustice, racial injustice, economic injustice. Which is my last point is being woke is good for everyone, including white people, including y'all. Like it's for white tea people, like I would say that being woke is actually was not more important, but it's just as important because again, a lot of the white working class, poor whites, go through a lot of economic injustice. Yeah, I mean there is a thing there. So if you're aware of that, then you're woke. Being woke is good for you. I've always said that.
Even like not to go off talk about, even when we talk about stuff like the gaming industry, with the gaming industry, like people talk about women being protagonists in games, being lead characters, or people like me being a black man, seeing a black person in a leading role in a movie or anything like that, it being woke or it's being forced upon wokeness. It's like you do realize like a lot of this stuff is already in video games since the beginning of time. But a lot of people don't realize that. I don't like using the word woke because they really pretty much ruined the word and they bastardized it. So
Yeah. That's why I want to retake it, which is why I included this. That's why I included it because I want us to retake it. Would you mind just giving me a second, Swift? Because I do think we agree. I'm gonna see if my next guest disagrees. Okay, give me 1 second. Is your name Scoundrel or Sour? I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. You there? Yes. I think that says Turmoil, Scoundrel, or Turmoil. You there? Give me 1 second. All right, you can unmute yourself if you're still muted. I'm not sure what happened to Scoundrel or whatever, but he doesn't seem to be there anymore. I'm not sure what happened to Scoundrel or whatever, but he doesn't seem to be there anymore. We'll give him a few moments. All right, Swift. Yeah, so I do think we agree. Do you have anything any last thing to say?
no, I just wanted to ask that question to. I was trying to ask that question to Papa Zen and yourself about the whole decentralized community policing part. As far as everything else, I pretty much agree with everything. Just keep doing your thing, man. It was nice talking to you.
All right, I appreciate you. Have a great day.
No problem.
All right, I'm not sure what happened to Scoundrel. J Mac, I'm going to go ahead and send you an invite. You can go ahead and come on up. That's if you can come on up. I think TikTok has rules. But Clayton, I do see you in the comments, but you're going to get muted for your racism. I always have here, there's always one. That's what I always say. There's always one. There's always one that's going to be on some BS. Jay Black, how's it going, bro? I need to do an update to this because I actually put something else here instead of social democracy. Redman, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Am I right? Are you over 18 and do you disagree with anything I have on the board?
Yes and yes.
Cool. What do you disagree with? Let's talk about I put 15 minutes on the clock. Let's go ahead and talk. What you disagree with?
Systematic racism.
Systematic racism is real. Okay, you think it's not real?
No.
Why do you think so?
Would you say black on black crime isn't inherently due to? Would you say black on black crime is caused by proximity?
I would say two things. Number one, there's no such thing as black on black crime. It's just crime, and crime is due to poverty plus proximity.
Okay, so who was telling the African American population to stay in close proximity quarters?
Who? What do you mean who?
Yeah. Why is the African American population staying in these inner cities where it's proven that it's dangerous for people to be living in such close proximity?
Generational poverty.
Okay, generational poverty, but you can move to, let's say, a country town like 2 hours away from an inner city, where you can buy a house, rent a house for $600 comparatively to living in Section 8 apartments in that city.
Right. They can't. No, they can't.
Why not?
Because moving is not just getting up and going.
Yeah, it is. I work for a moving company. I a cheap one at that.
I understand that you work for a moving company, and it's a cheap one. But people don't typically just have to get up and go somewhere because you have to take things into consideration. Moving is
wouldn't
not just
you-
something that simple.
Well, wouldn't you, no, it's not a privilege, whoever said that, but wouldn't you want the best for your generation, like your future generations?
Of course, you will want the best for your future generations, but simply moving doesn't mean that it's the best for your future generations because you have to, number one, have money to move. Make sure that you actually can move to that area if you're gonna have money. If you have children, they're gonna have to leave their entire social network. You have to leave your entire social network to go to a strange place where you might even be discriminated against. So why would you do it?
So, no. This is where I'm getting to. Like, so why wouldn't a group of African Americans who have saved up their money, like say over a 10-year period, as a group, maybe like 15 of them move to a low population 60 area, like, and then have kids there? Because I like the town I live in, half of the black population, which is here, is due to one family coming through, and they have produced over half the black population in this town.
So,
And it's a college town, so it's over 50,000 people.
okay, understood. So what?
So you're literally you're indecisive. You're like, no one
It's
is
not
telling
indecisive. That has nothing to do with systematic
You.
racism.
No, but like I know that, but like why aren't majority of African Americans?
I've already
like-
told you because moving is not that simple.
It is that simple. If you get the right mover, not even that, you can get a U-Haul truck for $20. Let's say an hour.
Okay, let me give you a scenario, right? I'm a poor black person living in the hood. I'm down to my last $20. I can go ahead and rent this U-Haul, pack everything up, not knowing if I'm gonna have gas to go over there or where I'm going, or I can go eat that night. Which one I'm gonna go do?
I mean, you just have to have discipline. So you're admitting
That
that
doesn't answer.
most
That doesn't answer my question. Am I
So
gonna go
you're-
eat
you're
that night?
admitting that most
Am I gonna go?
African-Americans
Am I
don't
gonna
have-
go eat that night, or am I gonna go rent a U-Haul to go somewhere that I don't know about?
Dude, at that point, what, like, if you're living your personal experience, like your personal life is in this shithole and living in the ghetto, why wouldn't you identify that and solve it by moving?
You're literally not answering my question, bro.
So-
you don't just hold on. Wait, stop. You don't just get up and move. That's not how life works. Like, shit
Yes,
don't
it
work that way,
is.
bro.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so you're telling me right now.
So
I
what
have
is
a
your
job.
grandpa-
Hold on, wait. Listen, you're telling me right now. I have a job where I live right now. You tell me I just go get in my car and just leave?
Okay, where do you live? I can prove it with your family heritage.
My family's from Haiti.
Okay, your family's from Haiti, but where do you live? Like, what state?
I live in Florida.
Okay, you live in Florida. Okay, so your family comes from Haiti, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they identified living in Haiti was shitty, right?
Right, and again, as because you said, hold on, wait, Redman, you said, hold on, Redman, listen to what I'm talking, listen to what I'm about to tell you, because you debunked yourself. You said earlier that moving is not a privilege. There are still 11 million people in Haiti.
Okay.
So guess
but
what? My
how does your family get to Florida?
My parents are one of the few people who were able to get out. And
Okay.
you know how they were able to? No, hold on. You know how they were able to get out?
How was
my
that?
my mother hopped on a raft that landed in the Bahamas, and my dad went to college in Mexico. That's the only reason they got out.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So my mother was one of those people that, guess what, jumped over the sea and swam here and claimed political asylum.
And then and she had an anchor baby, which was you. So
No,
yeah,
she didn't have an anchor. She didn't have an anchor baby because she was already a permanent resident by the time I was born. That's number
Were
one.
you born in
but
America?
number two, yeah, I was born in America. That doesn't
Okay,
make me
so
an
yeah,
anchor baby.
no.
No. An anchor baby is someone that's born by an illegal person. My mom wasn't illegal. So that's the first thing. No, number one, she got over it. She claimed political asylum, and she was able to claim political asylum because where she was living, the political party would have took her out. So that's how she was able to get political asylum.
So it was shitty, and she identified that as a problem, and she solved it by moving to the best country in the world. Okay.
Because she had the ability to do it. Other people did not.
She
There's
had
still
the
11.
ability to
There's
move.
still
She
11. There's
had
still
the
11.
ability to
There's still 11 million people who cannot leave Haiti.
I
So
know.
saying that moving is not a privilege or you can just simply get up and do it, no, you can't. Because 11 million people still live in an area where they cannot move. So what
I
are you talking
understand
about?
that, but they haven't identified.
So you
that as a
debunked yourself.
problem.
No, there's no conversation
they
at that
haven't-
point.
they
There's no
haven't
conversation at that
identified.
point.
No.
They have. If they, you really
Well, look at
think,
Haiti now.
you really think. Hold on, you really think 11 million people do not know that there's a better place to live? You really think so?
No, I do think so. Yeah.
Exactly. So 11 million people would have left if they could have, right?
Why haven't they?
Because they can't. This is so simple, bro. They cannot leave. They don't have the money. They don't have the resources. They don't have the connections. They can't
Crossed
leave.
over on a raft.
My mom had the connection.
Than
My
anybody.
mom had a connection. My mom had the money. My mom had the resources. She had the connections. She could do it. She had those connections through people in her church, through best friends, through family. As a matter of fact, someone actually told her to go about, because if my mom didn't meet that person at one random day, she wouldn't have known about it. People just don't get up and leave, bro. Like, that's not how that works. Number two, this has nothing to do with systemic racism. Matter of fact, actually, you're wrong. I'm wrong. Actually, this does have fact to do with systemic racism, because the reason why black people live in majority in those inner city areas is because of redlining, which was
But no one's
systemic
keeping it there.
racism.
And who made that? And who made
Oh, hold on, Sahel.
Redman.
Sahel, I'm gonna get you next, Sahel. Give me a second. Right. What's keeping them there is this systemic racism. It's still keeping them there. Would you like to know how?
It's
Would you like to know how? Would you like to know how? Would you like to know how?
Yeah, it comes down.
Would
to
you like to know how?
discipline. At the end
No,
of
it
the
doesn't.
day,
Would you like to know how?
Yes, it does.
Would you like to know
It
how?
does. It
Would
comes
you like to know
being
how? Would you like to know how?
civilized and disciplined. It comes
Would you
down
like to know
being
how?
Civilized and disciplined.
Also, black people aren't civilized.
Look at the facts.
So black people
No.
aren't civilized.
Majority haven't like identified the problems in the community. So yeah,
That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you. Are black people civilized or not?
There are a minority of people that are awakened, yes, and awakened to a certain degree, but majority.
Oh,
of
okay. So
people-
majority of black people are not civilized.
Whoa, what the hell?
yeah.
What's going on, my friend?
All right, so majority of black people are not civilized. So okay, so you're a racist. So I'm not
not
going to go ahead and
racist if they're
continue.
not
You
identifying
just said the
the
majority of black people are not civilized.
If they're not identifying the problem and fixing that,
So
problem,
the majority of black people. This is a yes or no question. Are the majority of black people civilized people or not?
okay, African Americans living in the inner city, majority of them are not. No.
Okay, yeah, you're racist. All right, goodbye, goodbye, my friend. All right, so Sahel, what you got for me, bro? Well, this is gonna be round 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I think you have to realize it's racist on the liberal side and the conservative side. I'm neither party. Just gonna point that out.
Yeah, there's racist liberals. I don't doubt that. J Mac, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm all right. Are you over 18 and you disagree with what I got on the board?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Give me a second.
I was gonna
hold on. Give me a second. Give me one moment. I'm not sure how to read that name. Is that Gore or Gort?
It would be Godless one.
Oh, Godless. You over 18 and do you disagree with what I have on the board?
I'm 59 years old, and I agree with every single freaking thing you have on the board.
All right, cool. All right, cool. Not a problem. Just mute up for me real quick. Sahel, I'm not sure if you agree or disagree with anything I have, because this is going to be round 5 for us.
Well, I definitely disagree with the social democracy versus capitalism. I mean, I literally have people from Zimbabwe tell me otherwise.
All right, sure. We can go ahead and talk about that, and I'll get to J Mac in a second. All right, so we talked about social democracy over capitalism before, Sahel. Like, did you have any more questions about it? Because I already explained exactly what I meant by that.
Yeah, because my problem is, like, I even have friends from Africa who went through Zimbabwe, a communist government, and they tell me, yeah, it was not the social paradise, as you want to put it.
Zimbabwe is not a communist government.
Are you telling me my friends who are from Zimbabwe, come from the country, raised there, are wrong? They've been there.
They say that Zimbabwe was a communist government. When? Under who?
Under their, I'm trying to remember the president. Give me 1 minute.
Mugabe?
Yeah, Robert Mugabe. There we go. That's what they're trying to tell me. But they're from Zimbabwe. I mean, what if I tell you the history of Haiti and try to tell your history? How will you like that?
You won't be able to tell me that. Yeah, you won't be able to tell me that. But Robert Mugabe.
Yeah, there we go.
Was he? Are you sure he was a communist? I ain't hear that. Give me a second, bro.
We
He
cannot
was an
ignore the
authoritarian
simple fact.
fascist.
He was an authoritarian, yeah, but like as far as communism, no. But
You can't
besides
have
that, social
communism with authoritarianism, it
Right,
just
but-
doesn't work.
Right, but like in the thing, yeah, I'll get you a second, Gallus. Give me one moment. But when it comes to as far as when it comes to social democracy, like, yeah, sure. If you're gonna say that Robert Mugabe was an authoritarian and he was a communist or whatever, what's it got to do with what I'm talking about?
Everything that we're talking about, they have experienced as communists, like socialism, not communist.
But socialism and
party.
communism are not the same thing.
Well,
And a social
has to mean the
democracy
production
definitely
system.
is not.
Right, social democracy keeps some capitalism in place. So how would that be compared to communism, which doesn't?
But do you believe in socializing everything, distributing wealth to everything?
Whoa.
Healthcare, school.
Wait, Gallus, give me 1 second. Let me I'll let you guys go.
Hey,
I
y'all
promise.
just talking over me, man.
Wow.
No, we're not talking over. Gallus, I promise I'm gonna let you go. I promise I'm gonna let you go. Give me 1 second.
I
All right,
know.
Gallus?
I'm not wowing you. I'm wowing him.
Yeah. I got you. All right. So when it comes to like social democracy is not socializing everything like that. I'm not even sure what you even mean by that. You're talking about like as far as schools and schools should be free. I'm not sure why they shouldn't. And what else?
I mean college. Like college right there.
Yeah, college should be free.
College.
College should be free. Why shouldn't college be free?
Because it comes out of everyone's pocket, man. This stuff doesn't come out free. Nothing is free in this world.
Hey, so hell, like this is so weird. We talked about this before. I've always told because we came into an agreement. We said like let's say taxes are 40%, but college is free. Kids get free lunch at school. You know what I mean? We all get national health care and crime is down and there's no homelessness. Even if our taxes are 40%, you said you will be fine with that. So what's the issue now?
Yeah, but that's never actually worked like how you want it. Look at Cuba. That was a disaster. Look at Venezuela. Disaster.
Cuba's issue.
North Korea, disaster.
Cuba's issue is because of the embargo. All right. Venezuela is because of corruption. North Korea is again because they don't. North Korea is because they don't trade with anyone, except for Russia.
Are you going to put
whatever.
accountability to Maduro? Yes or no?
Maduro was corrupt. I already said that.
Okay, thank you. And who is he supporting? He's supporting the social agenda.
All right. So can you be not really, but can you be corrupt and be capitalist?
Corrupt.
Okay, so it's not because of socialism. Okay, so it's not because of socialism that he's corrupt. I'm gonna let God. Let's talk for a second. I have to get the JMac. But God, let's go ahead and respond. I know you want to respond to something.
Yeah. Well, number one, Sahel. Is that how you say it?
You can just call me Knight. You can just call
Knight. Okay. I want to know. Do you know what the dictionary definition of socialism is? Can you quote that for me?
Distributing the wealth. It's called distributing wealth fairly. No matter how much whatever.
No.
That is socialism. Distribute wealth fairly.
No, I asked for the dictionary definition of socialism. Do you have the definition from the dictionary of socialism?
Production to the worker.
That's right. That is what socialism is. Do you have the definition, the dictionary definition of communism? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's a class society passing the means production to worker. Class of society.
Okay. So what does that have to do with authoritarianism? Both of those societies are anti-authoritarian.
Actually, if we look at the fascist agenda, it's more in line with the left.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Like, let's look at this.
No, it's not because fascists.
Let me explain.
Because fascism believes that you should do everything in accordance with what's going to advance the state, and they believe in absolute hegemony. The left doesn't believe in that.
Well, let's see. You have one that believes in freedom of speech. You have one that believes in keeping your tax dollars in your pocket. You have one that believes in
fascism does that?
No, that's the opposite of fascism. Meanwhile, the progressives, they believe in more taxes, more regulations, limited on freedom of speech, limited on religious freedom and speech.
No, they don't.
Yes,
No,
they
they
do.
don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
So you're not going to acknowledge the leftist agenda, how they believe in no freedom of speech?
No, they don't. Bro, there is no leftist agenda to say no freedom of speech. What are you talking about? That's fascism. When you said there's a leftist agenda about no freedom of speech, can you point to me any leftist person that said that we should get rid of the First Amendment?
Yeah, well, actually, I've met many progressives who told me they have to demolish the Constitution. They told me
No,
next
no,
time
no. We
face.
want to hear of somebody that we've heard of before. We don't want this.
I know a random
Construct-
person that says that we should do it.
Yeah,
No,
I,
give me an
I've heard
actual
this
person.
before, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Because I can easily tell you, oh, I met a Republican that says that we should get rid of the First Amendment and not have religious freedom and only be, a Christian country and every other religion should be illegal. I can easily tell you, right? Hold on, right? I can easily tell you that. That doesn't make it true. What I'm saying is there an actual leftist person that advocates for this? That advocates to get rid of the First Amendment? Like some person that we can actually hear up
To
Google,
demolish the
anything like that.
Constitution, right? Yeah, to demolish the Constitution, right?
That's what Trump
Yes.
wants.
He's even
well,
said
he does. Yeah, but he'll never have the power to do it, even if he wanted to. There's nowhere.
So why are you
Matter.
complaining about
He
leftists
said
then?
it. So we can
Jesus Christ.
say that we know of somebody that's a right-leaning person that actually said they want to demolish the Constitution. Can you find somebody on the left that does exactly the same thing?
Okay, so we agree the Constitution should remain in office.
No. I said, can you name somebody on the left? Because this was your contention that the left wants to do this. Now, we have come back and we have told you, here's somebody on the right, and you agree that he has said these things. I want to hear you say somebody from the left. If you can't say them, then I want you to say, I was incorrect. Can you say that?
So, well, I'm talking to you then. I'll go, listen, God, because you can't answer the question. Should we keep the Constitution? Yes or no?
Well, you answer the question first, and then I'll answer yours. You're not going to answer a question by sidestepping mine with another question. Answer the question, and then I'll answer yours.
If I had to pick someone, like, you want me to pick a politician, right?
No, anyone. It could be a politician, a philosopher, a religious leader. I don't care who it is. Somebody that said that we should abolish the Constitution. We know of one person that says that we should do that, and his name is Donald J. Trump.
Well, every communist leader agrees we should get rid of freedom of speech.
Which one said that?
You're saying every communist leader. This is conjecture. You're not naming a
communist
person.
China.
Can you say I can't name anybody and I'm just blowing smoke up your butt?
All right,
I'll give you some examples.
Hold on. Everybody pause. Sahel, which communist leader said that we shouldn't have freedom of speech? Are you talking about Mao, Stalin, Trotsky, Marx, Hegels, Angela Davis, Huey P. Newton? Which one said it?
Let's go with Kim Jong-un right there alone. No, not Kim Jong. Yeah, little Kim. No, sorry, Kim from North Korea. Yeah, he's
Kim Jong-un said
leader. He said he's doing that to his country. There's no freedom of speech in that country. You can't even
Say
access the
Tyrone.
internet in that region.
Donald Trump said that he wants to take people's guns before due process. You can find that YouTube video on
Well,
YouTube.
actually, Joe Biden.
No. Donald
that was
Trump
Trump.
said
Joe
that.
Biden said that too.
no. Biden didn't say he wants to take people's guns before due
Oh my
process. He
God!
didn't say that.
Yes, he did. He said that.
Biden said that he wants to. Biden said that he wants to take people's fire sticks before before due process. He said that. You sure?
He said that if we can get more seats in the Senate, we can abolish, AR rights. We can abolish assault rifle rights. If we get 2 more seats in the Senate.
Right. He said if we get 2 more seats in the Senate, we can abolish certain firearms, but that doesn't mean that to take away your firearms before due process.
No.
Hold on, wait. I'm responding now. He said you have to have seats in the Senate. That's due process, my guy.
Regardless, you're putting gas in the fire. You want to get rid of people's assault rifles rights. You can't ignore that, man.
Donald Trump said he wanted to get rid of them without due process. If you got arrested and you were not charged with anything, all you were charged and you were innocent until proven guilty, he said on video, there is a video on YouTube, you can find it, and he said, why can't we take their guns before due process? He's asking people this. He wants to know. He wants to take your guns before due process.
Let's use the words firearms or pew-pews because of
I'm
TikTok
sorry.
language. Not a
Got
problem.
it.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I got you. All right, guys. Pause for a second because I know J-Mac has been here for a while, and so has Mexico, Israel, and Ronnie just came up. All right. I'm gonna get you guys in a moment. I appreciate you all being here. Go ahead and keep liking the live and keep sharing. We got 59 people in here. I'm gonna do a quick age check to make sure that everybody's over 18. J-Mac already told me he is. Ronnie, are you over 18?
He's muted.
Yeah, Ronnie, you're muted. Mexico, Israel, like you're teacupped. When you guys swipe out the app, I can't hear you, so you got to come back. So Ronnie, are you over 18?
Yes.
All right, cool. Appreciate you. All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get back to the discussion. Sahel, we got about 5 more minutes, and I got to move on. All right. As far as saying that fascism lines up more with leftism, no, it doesn't, because again, the ideology of fascism is to have all authority to the state and everyone do everything for the state and have social hegemony. The left doesn't believe in social hegemony.
They do believe in higher taxes for that government, though. You still
higher
ignoring
taxes
that.
is not
and higher
fascism.
regulations for that government as well.
Right, but Sahel,
Doesn't-
Sahel, hold on, wait. So listen. Taxes and regulations are not fascism.
Yeah, but they can't align with fascism, 100%.
They don't.
Like, why do you ignore that?
They don't.
Taking more money, more money at the middle class. Let me finish. Taking more money at the middle class households, putting more regulations on small businesses can have no effect on fascism. That's what you're telling me.
No, what I'm saying is that that's not fascism. Regulations and taxes are not fascism. Every single country has regulations and taxes. You're saying every country is fascist? Do you understand what
So what
fascism
about-
is, right? Fascism is
it's
a society.
authoritarianism.
Right, fascism is it's specifically nationalism towards the state and hegemony and social hegemony towards the state. That means social hegemony means that what the states decide is the correct thing. Everybody has to do. Like for example, fascist Germany, their version of fascism was basically blonde hair, blue eyed white people. That was the ultimate authority. Blonde hair, blue eyed white people. That's what they did. That's what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? It's basically social hegemony. Does anyone on the left call for that?
Agenda.
What?
They call it with the rainbow flag. They push it in our faces and our children. It
Hold on, wait.
Fascism
Hold on,
idea.
you're saying that the LGBTQ community wants everybody to be gay. That's what you're saying?
Well, that's what the Democrat Party wants. I think they do, man.
Bro, that is stupid. What are you saying?
No, he's
Not
got to
stupid. When they push
understand.
it on children,
If he understood correctly, he'd understand that if they actually allow the LGBT community to have their equal rights, that is totally not fascism. You have in Florida where they're taking out books that they don't agree with. That's fascism.
I mean, pornographic material in the schools. If we're talking
Listen,
No, it's not.
the point to the matter is that you got to have the freedom to read what you want. And they,
Yeah, and if you-
say no, they want the United States to be a Christian country.
What was this stuff about freedom of speech night? All of a
You mean
sudden,
these
you don't want to be able to read
pornographic
certain
I can
books?
show you them.
All right, hold on.
Pornographic
Sahel, wait. First of all, say pornographic because TikTok. But
Do you want me to give you the pornographic books?
hold on,
Show
wait.
explicit scenes.
Sahel. I understand that they're pornographic books. The point is that you just said that the left is against freedom of speech. Pornographic books are freedom of speech. So if you say that we should get rid of them, you no longer believe you also believe in limits to freedom of speech, don't you?
How about
Are you
book
a fascist?
let me
Yes,
respond.
answer
Wait,
question,
Sahel,
I'm not
no.
fascist.
Don't
He asked the
exactly.
question, answer it.
Wow,
All right,
you people are
hold-
crazy.
Wait, hold on. Pause. Sahel, we're not crazy. You're just not thinking through this. All right? Think through this. Hold on, wait. Listen.
hold on.
Hold on, wait. Listen. Think through this. As I said. All right? Pornographic material is freedom of speech. The moment you ban it, you are limiting freedom of speech. You just said that the left is fascist because they want to limit freedom of speech. But you agree with banning pornographic material. So are you a fascist?
No, I'm not a fascist. I just don't think
Okay.
genderqueer should be. Are you gonna respond?
Okay. I'm gonna let you respond. You said something about you don't think genderqueer should be in libraries. That's fascism.
It's a book that should not belong with children. Why is that so hard to understand?
Hold on.
It's not with children. That's the problem. It's not with children. It's in a library.
Let me
A library with children in it.
Do adults go to libraries?
Who goes to
Do
libraries?
you think the Bible should be in the library?
Let's make it fair. No Bible, no genderqueer in the schools. That is reasonable.
That is fascism, my friend.
Do you think so?
Oh my gosh, you only care about fashion with your agenda. Like y'all are crazy, man.
What agenda? Hold on. Everybody mute up.
Ad hominem attacks.
I know. Everybody mute up for a second. Ronnie wanted to respond. I'm sorry I didn't get to you yet, Ronnie. Go ahead, Ronnie.
He's got to understand, this country was built
Bro, you people are crazy.
on some key foundations. One of them is freedom of religion, which means you have the right to worship any God you choose. And in this country, it seems to be changing. And if he understands that the right also calls the left Antifa, does he actually know what does that mean? Antifa, anti-fascist. So how are you going to call us anti-fascist and then fascist at the same time?
Antifa, which was a bunch of white liberals, were destroying neighborhoods in Atlanta, bro.
See, that's just
You justify
rhetoric.
that?
You don't understand the meaning of words. Antifa means anti-fascist.
Well, y'all take the fascist agenda and use it for your own agenda. That's like, you just, it's like,
All right,
I can, hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
I can literally, I could say I'm a good cause movement, but slap a different label on it. Does that make it what it is?
No, of course not. But what I'm trying to point out, Sahel, is that with all due respect, it doesn't seem that you actually understand what fascism actually is. And you're just saying anything that the left does is fascist. That makes no sense at all. Just because there are limits on freedom of speech, we gave several examples of that, right? You said that there shouldn't be pornographic material. That's a limit on freedom of speech. But you said that was fascist. But you agree with that you agree with that limit of freedom of speech. That makes no sense to do. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that. Hold on, Sahel. You can't say that limiting freedom of speech is fascist and then agree with limiting freedom of speech. You can't do that. That's complete contradiction.
I hold the same energy when Republicans do it as well, because I don't like them either.
So they're fascist when they want to take out these pornographic books? They're fascist then?
No, I agree with them 100%. Get that book
So
out of
you
there.
agree with fascism then? I'm using your own standard.
I'm a fascist, fine. By your definition, I'm a fascist.
No, it's not by my definition.
By the definition of fascism, you're a fascist.
No, Sahel, wait. Everybody pause. Let me just get this out. Sahel is not according to my definition. It's according to yours. You're the one said that limiting freedom of speech is fascism. So if you agree with it, you agree with fascism. It's not according to my position. It's according to yours.
All right, fine. I'm a fascist. Yeah, I'm a fascist. There you go.
Freedom of speech, bro.
Proud of
You
it.
can't even talk about the Holocaust that's going on in Palestine right now. And the symbolism for fascism is called a bale of axes. So when you watch the media or you watch Congress or you watch the president in the State of the Union address, those two big gold axes, they are the symbolism of fascism. Or the 1940 United States dime, the coin, the dime, it has Hermes on it. If you flip the dime over to have Hermes on it, it has a bale of axes, which is the symbolism for fascism. Freemasons talk in symbols. Like I said, bro, TikTok ain't gonna be up too much longer. So Twitter is gonna be the space because you can talk about anything.
And who's gonna ban TikTok? Who's gonna ban it? Who's trying to save TikTok? Come on, be honest.
What are you talking about?
Who's trying to ban TikTok right now? Who's trying to do it? Who's pushing for the most?
Government.
Oh no, be honest. Which side is doing it? Which side is trying to save it? At least I'll give Trump credit. He's at least trying to save it.
No, listen. If you do you
Trump
follow
was pretty
any?
clear that.
Hold on, Sahel. Hold on. Let me finish. Do you follow any leftists on this app?
I follow plenty of them, and they tell me all the cuckoo ideas.
Hold on. Wait. Stop. If you follow leftists on this app, you should know that we've all been saying to not ban TikTok. So it's not the left that's pushing
The
for
leaders.
it. Which
Your
leaders?
leaders are saying otherwise.
Which leaders?
Democratic leaders.
The Democrats? Are the Republicans also our leaders? Because they've also been pushing for it.
Yeah, true. 'Cause they don't want information
as well.
All right. So when you said that there's a side pushing it the most, you lied to us because
Democrats
both
are.
Democrats and Republicans are pushing to ban it.
Not the same amount though.
Yeah, but Trump. Hold on.
No,
Trump
exactly the same
himself
amount. They
said
offlined it. I know Trump himself.
Hold up.
I know Trump. Hold on, give me a second. I know Trump said he's going to try to save it. But the majority of both Republicans and Democrats voted to ban it. Both of them,
But more Democrats did.
because there were more Democrats in the seats at that time.
Okay.
And excuses.
It's not excuses.
It is excuse.
The majority of them both wanted to ban it. How is an excuse to say that what are we talking about here? Majority of both said they wanted to ban it. Majority of both.
Same
What are we talking
percentage
about?
though? Exactly. Same percentage of each.
Same percent. I'm not sure if it was the same percentage. No.
So then.
I don't believe in
Democrats.
excuses.
I don't care. The majority still. I don't care if it was 70-60. The majority of both parties still wanted to ban it. So to say that one side is
who's
trying
the
to
leader?
There is no. What the fuck are you talking? There are no leaders.
70 is more than 60 though, dude. That's my point. That's all.
I do not care.
You're making
the majority. I'm not making excuses. The majority of both parties wanted this banned.
I know.
Period.
But
Okay,
does
then.
he
So
understand? Does he
Okay, so-
understand that they only wanted TikTok banned because it's a Chinese company and they don't want any American government entities using TikTok?
What?
that's really the only reason.
The Chinese want it. Obviously, they're spying on us.
It's a Chinese company. Do you get it? So if you're a government agency, you don't want any of your employees using TikTok.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
reasonable.
So what
That
does
part
that
there
have
is
to do
reasonable.
with left or right? He's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We do have someone new up. Give me 1 second. Was that Ebenezer?
Easy being.
Easy being. How's it going? You over 18 for TikTok purposes?
Yeah.
Disagree with anything I got on the board?
No, I wanted to say something really quick, but the guy left, so I don't really have a reason to say it anymore.
I can back them.
Say it anyway. We want to hear it.
I was going to ask him if he thinks that libraries should only have family-friendly books, which is kind of stupid because he's basically saying that a literature reserved for adults shouldn't exist, or different age groups can't have books for them, which is kind of stupid. If you really
It's not about
think about it for
ages.
even a fraction of a second.
It's about fact and fiction. That's all.
I think we brought that up.
But if you haven't been to a library before, which I'm pretty sure he hasn't, or most people arguing against it haven't, there's different sections for different age groups and genres. So you find books pertaining to the subject in the section that it's in. And sometimes the books aren't always for kids because the library is for everyone. Duh. Anyway,
Right.
that's all I have to say.
I got you. I appreciate you, Easy Being. One last thing. Mickey, you've been crashing out in the comments for about 30 minutes. Come on up and we could have this discussion, because the last time I told you to come up, you said that you were, in a loud area and you couldn't say anything, but like, I'm not sure if you were still in a loud area or what. All right, Solutions. We did spoke before, but it was a religious live, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I bailed out early. I think because you were winning or something. I forgot.
No, I don't think I was winning. But I know you're over 18, but do you disagree with anything I got on the board?
America was great. Of course, it was the greatest country.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and start my clock over. Let's go ahead and let's do 15 minutes. All right, cool. Godless and Ronnie, I'm gonna tag you guys in as soon as I get to my end of my discussion with him, and you guys can go ahead. All right, just stay on mute from me really quickly. If you have to leave, you can drop out, and if you come back, I'll add you back on. All right, just give me a few moments. I'll be right back with you guys. All right, appreciate you both. All right, Solutions. Now, you said that America was great. The way I see America is that if it's not,
God and Ronnie, I'll take you guys on too.
Sorry about that. Give me 1 second.
Still not on.
Still not on. You hear me? You hear me yet?
No, you're back. You're back.
I'm back now. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, so let's talk about if America was ever great. All right, so now solutions. When I say America was never great, is because in all of its aspects, meaning the rights that it gives to all its citizens, the way that society worked, et cetera, it hasn't been great in those things. And if you're in, I do believe in what MLK said: an injustice somewhere is an injustice everywhere. So if America was unjust to many of its citizens, which we know in its history that it was, it cannot be great. What would you say?
Okay, so back in like the 1940s, 50s, 60s, were they not great to any citizen besides black people?
They weren't great to LGBT people. They weren't great to black people. They weren't great to Hispanics, and they weren't great to Asians, and they weren't great to Native Americans
And women.
and women. Yeah. So the yeah.
Don't forget about the Japanese internment.
And the Japanese, correct. So Asians, black people, Native Americans, women, and gay and LGBT people, they were not great to. The only people America was great to was white straight men.
Wow. Okay, so I don't agree with that, but even if that is true, and they are so unhappy living in America, why don't they just get out?
Because we already said that, like, just moving to another country is not that simple. Otherwise, everybody would do it. The second thing, I'm not sure what you disagree with, because, like, we know what happened back in the early 20th century. America was not good to black people, like, absolutely not. Or Native Americans.
I know that about black people. I'm saying, like, everyone else, though, why does everyone want to come to America if we're so bad to our people? It doesn't make sense.
Money.
And so people would put their self-respect over, like, money over that?
No, I think you have to understand something, because I think I've said this before. You're safer from the effects of imperialism when you live inside the empire. You do know that America's foreign policy hits everywhere, correct? So in order for people to be safe from that, they're just going to go ahead and move to America, because that's where most of the money and the opportunity is. It doesn't mean that they're naive about how they're going to be treated. They know they're going to be treated a certain way. It's just that they need to live a better life, and this is the best way for them to do that. For them to do so.
Right.
If they had another option, they would go somewhere else.
So they're putting money over everything.
If America wasn't down in South America and Central America destabilizing governments and stuff like that so that the wealthy people could get the resources for the prices they wanted, those people would be staying there and making a life for themselves. The only reason why they're coming up here is because it is better, because we keep on screwing with their economies.
Right, and the last thing that I would say, it doesn't make it great just because people are coming here because America fucked up their country. That makes it even worse.
But it makes it better than every other option on the planet, according to them.
Because America caused that.
Shit up.
So how is that great?
So I don't think it matters how they become great, whether it's suppressing others or uplifting themselves. The fact
it matters.
Still the greatest.
No, it matters. It matters because if you have to suppress others for you to lift yourself up, you are not a good person, right? So No, you're not.
So
you're saying that bullies are good people then? Just because they put down others? Are you saying that bullies are good people because they put down others?
Oh, I'm saying that they are at a higher level than the people they bully.
A higher level how so?
Status.
Okay, so they're at a higher status, but are they good people?
No.
Exactly. That's what I mean by America was never great.
Right. And solution, at the beginning you said if people don't like this country, why don't they just get out? During the Clinton administration, during the Obama administration, and now the Biden administration, I'm sure there's some things that you're disgruntled about. And if that's the case, why don't you get out?
Yeah, I'm working on it, man. I hate North America right now.
Vamos.
Huh?
Well, then why are you talking about other people? I mean, One of the things that we have here is we have what they call the American dream, and it's pretty much an illusion anymore.
It's American nightmare.
That was the thing. Yeah, I mean, it was.
sound like Trump.
And it's because wealthy people have decided to take everything. I mean, you know, every dollar is a finite representation of the resources we have on this planet, and it's a hard, you know, unit. So we have 2,700 billionaires, and they own more than the bottom half, easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you know? You know how much America is in debt, right?
Yeah, I do, but everybody's in debt. You know, we got like 7.5 times as much debt as we have currency in the world. That's crazy. I mean, it's almost like it's an artificial system.
It is.
Yeah, completely artificial. Yeah, there's no value in it at all. But so do you understand why I say America was never great solutions?
Yeah, no, I agree that we are not good moral people, generally speaking, but we are the most powerful. We are the greatest as far as economy, influence, ability to defend and attack.
That's not what I care about. That's not what I care about.
You care about us
Right.
doing the right thing, being moral.
I care about 100%. We should care about us doing the right thing. Why shouldn't we?
So who's the greatest in the world then, under your framework?
I don't think
There
there's
isn't
a. Yeah, I think that you know, really, we're just all one people floating on a great big blue ball out in the middle of space.
Yeah, but
These borders and stuff like that, they're all stupid.
Yeah, but
You know, borders don't just keep people out; they keep people in too.
yeah, but there's different people over the world. So who's better than us morally? Yeah, I'm asking. Do you think?
I think that as individuals, you can say there are better people morally and there are bad people.
What about countries as a
Well, as
I
a
can't
country
say.
who's
Japan?
better morally than America.
Yeah, who's doing it better?
Japan.
Well, Japan calls the genocide, so I don't even want to say them. But probably somewhere like Bhutan. Probably never even heard of them.
Maple Pro.
I've heard of Bhutan.
Bhutan. Bhutan?
I think that the Finnish countries, Norway and Sweden and stuff like that, I think they're a better example of
That's what I was
higher
thinking.
morality.
Yeah.
I was thinking that. I was gonna say that as well. Yeah, probably them.
Okay. What about China?
What about it?
Well, I
Are they better
can't
than
say for sure.
USA?
What about China?
I would say they're on a similar plane.
Yeah, that's what I would
You
say.
know,
So they're
on
a
one
very
side of
similar
it,
plane.
Yeah, they're not as good to the people of their country as they should be. But then on the other side, they're not really attacking anybody, or they don't have 750 bases around the world controlling every aspect of every country and what they do with their resources. So yeah, I mean, there's.
But God, I think they actually do it a different way, just like this Silken Belt agenda that they have. You know, they implant themselves all over the place. They inject some infrastructural help, and then they just rape the country. I mean, grape the country. You know.
Well,
Yeah, and I think they do
that's
have forced labor.
imperialism. We've been doing that forever.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why, just like how you said earlier, like I put U.S. and China kind of on the same plane because they both do imperialism, they both do forced labor, they both don't really treat their citizens that well. You know what I mean? Now, China does have, you know, a couple of advantages, like as far as what they do economically. You know what I mean? They have like collective bargaining for their citizens. A lot of the companies have, you know, a model of having board members and like a union board members, stuff like that, which is good for the workers. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with those type of things. Yeah, I mean, but as far as what China does, yeah, they're a little imperialist, and I understand why, because of the century of humiliation. If you look at Chinese history, you'll get why they do what they do. You know what I mean? But still, I don't really agree with.
I'm not sure if that type of control would work in the United States. I mean, that's
right.
You know, some of the rhetoric that you hear Trump spewing actually makes you feel like that. That's where we're going and stuff. But back to China, where Hong Kong was the economic engine. There's a reason why those people don't want to be part of mainland China. because of the independent freedoms that they've had.
They were they were invaded by the English, and it was a colony. And that China just took it back. It was part of a deal that they made.
Understand?
All right. They weren't any more free. They were subjugated by the British. And
Yeah, the only
there's a lot
difference
of
they had
propaganda
was-
there.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot of propaganda there. They weren't any more free. They had more money coming in because they were being used as a trading hub by Britain.
Exactly. But I think that's what happens anywhere where the economic engine is running. People feel more free because there's more money in their pocket. It allows them to get more as individual, but that doesn't make the society as a whole any better.
Right. Can y'all pause for a second? Pause me for a second. All right, y'all.
Yep.
Excuse me. We're gonna go ahead and try to get the 20K likes here because my moderator did say if we don't get the 20K likes, she's shutting off the comments, and she means it. All right. I'm gonna get to our new guest. Is your name Gabby or
Gabe?
Gabe. There we go. Gabe Cringe. All right, Gabe. You over 18 for TikTok purposes?
I'm 22.
22, and you disagree with anything I got on the board?
No, I kind of agree with everything.
Oh, you do kind of agree with everything. All right. So solutions is really the only op. Solutions. Was there anything else that you disagree on the board with, or you want to keep talking about America being great?
Let's see here. How about the abortion one?
Yeah, sure. Legal and safe access to abortion. Does everybody here? Well, I don't want it to be 3 against 1. We can talk one at a time. So you don't agree with legal and safe access to abortion?
I can take 3-on-1 as long as I have the platform to speak and respond. But
yeah, sure. I just don't want them to jump you. But let's go ahead and clarify your position first. You don't agree with legal and safe access to abortion at all, like no abortions, or do you have exceptions?
So I would give access to 1 abortion for a person. And give them the autonomy. But if they make the same mistake twice, I don't think they learn their lesson, and they shouldn't be able to have that access.
Gotcha. All right. Do Rodney, Godless, or Gabe, any of you guys want to take it?
Yeah.
I would I would ask the question: then you believe that people who get abortion, they get it under the premise that it's a joke, it's a game for them, it's something that they just want to try out?
No, I think they take schmecks as a joke in a game when they shouldn't.
Okay.
You do. So grape victims are laughing about the whole thing.
They get an exception. They can have unlimited abortions if they get raped.
Okay. Well, you just said they only get 1, and you didn't specify past that.
Well, now I will specify. Yes.
Okay. So I have a question for you. All right. Now, according to everything I know, men are responsible for 100% of all abortions because men do not have to ejaculate in the birth canal. So, what happened to personal responsibility here with the men? Why aren't they saying, I will not do that? And, if men did that, there would be 100% no abortions because there would be no unintended pregnancies.
Okay, I love how you brought this up because my belief is 100% of pregnancies is a mother's response or responsibility.
Really?
Absolutely.
So a mother can
Except if you're
ejaculate into her own birth canal.
No, but she allows the access, and that's why.
But a man has the ultimate ability to not do that, right? Like it goes to the personal responsibility
of the woman who gets pregnant.
No. The man does not have to ejaculate into the birth canal at all, ever.
Sure, but the man doesn't get pregnant, does he?
No, he can't. She doesn't get pregnant if he doesn't ejaculate in the birth canal.
He doesn't get pregnant if she doesn't allow access.
No,
it's not an allow access thing. You can allow access and use all kinds of protections and birth controls. But here's the deal. All right, you're getting all hot and heavy and everything going real good, and she's
Excuses.
like, "Oh, baby, do it. Get inside me. Do it. Come in me, baby." And then the guy can just say, "Whoop, no, I'm not going to do that, because if I do that, then you will have the ability and the choice of going and aborting that fetus."
Yeah, I agree that the man should make better choices, but what I'm saying is ultimately it's the woman's responsibility if she gets pregnant or not.
No, it's a woman's responsibility if she keeps the pregnancy, but a man she can't get pregnant by herself.
Right, but she allows it to happen. It's her responsibility.
No, she doesn't. She does not allow the man to ejaculate into her birth
Unless
canal.
she's
She
straight.
allows the man. No, at all. Men have 100% ownership of their swimmers.
Women are 100%
They don't ever have to do that.
responsible for the access. It's their call. Whether they
So this is I'm gonna let you interject, Gabe. Give me 1 second. All right, so this is what I think what it is where I'm confused at. I think most people are confused at. You're saying that the woman is responsible. Why isn't the man responsible for what he ejaculated into, but the woman is responsible for what she allowed?
Because the woman is the one who gets pregnant, so she needs to take accountability for getting pregnant.
The man ejaculating in her birth canal.
How come the man doesn't take accountability for ejaculating then?
Well, he should. If he doesn't want to have a child, he shouldn't do that.
All right, so he's responsible, just like how Galvis said. Okay, can you give me 1 second? Because I think Gabe wanted to interject one thing, and Amanda, you came up as well. I know that you want to speak on it as well. Gabe, would you? I'm sorry, Amanda. Give me 1 second. Gabe, can you just say? Go ahead and say what you want to say really quickly, because I'm sure. Yeah, go ahead. And I'm sure Amanda has a lot to say about it. But go ahead, Gabe. You first.
So I don't think that we can talk about abortion without acknowledging the societal economic factors that affect people's ability to raise children. Say someone is well off at one point or misinformed or not fully educated and begins the process and things change and they're no longer capable of maintaining a pregnancy financially or physically or mentally. We can't talk about the individual responsibilities without acknowledging the societal economic factors and responsibilities of the society as a whole in our legal system, right? Because it's good. We're looking at how we're going to legally enforce something along abortion, and that's a societal economic factor, right? We're as a society enforcing such a thing or talking about enforcing such a thing as a society. So we need to acknowledge how the entire society plays a role in their circumstance in the first place as well.
Go ahead, Amanda. I know you had a lot to say.
Well, I just wanted to say that there's also the health factors that come into play when it comes to, there's the rhesus factor, because sometimes what happens is you have a mother who is rhesus positive or negative with the child that they're carrying, child or fetus, that's actually the opposite. And then they have to actually take the antigen D as in dog, and they have to take that therapy before they actually have their child. If they don't have proper health care in their area, like they live in a rural area, they could actually not receive the proper prenatal care. And then it can turn into a miscarriage.
A solution for that.
Well, I'm just, hold on. And this is why it's unfortunate that now in many rural areas, there are not Planned Parenthoods, as well as a lot of rural areas. I used to live in one. I used to go to high school in one. We did get sex ed, and now they do not. And guess what? They have high teen pregnancy rates. So you said you have a solution.
Yeah. So I think, scouting the people that you have relations with and making sure that your bloodlines are receptive to each other is the only mates that you should be engaging that with.
No, having better health care, I believe, is actually what we should be doing, because that sounds like eugenics.
Well, it's nature saying we are not compatible. Don't procreate.
Why do we have science and why have we figured out how to actually make this work better?
Unnaturally,
we have
though.
Regressed. That's
Right.
Naturally doesn't mean better.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Science makes things better and easier.
But unnatural.
If
and
you can
therefore
get the
dangerous.
antigen, everything's
Yeah.
unnatural. Do you wear glasses?
No.
Yeah, can we pause real quick, guys? Can we just pause real quick? I appreciate you guys all being here. We're at 21K likes, y'all. we're gonna do this for like probably about 1 more hour, but we do have one more person up here. Life is a dream. Life, you there?
Yeah.
Cool. Are you over 18 and you disagree with anything I got on the board?
41. And I disagree with reparations. One of the
Disagree with
things I
reparations.
disagree with.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's go ahead and clear out the abortion topic
Abortion?
first. No, wait.
I can talk
I know.
about that smortion. I could talk about smortion too.
Gotcha. Just give me 1 second, because I know Solutions, Amanda, and Gabe were talking about abortion. So let me go ahead and let them finish off first, and then me and you can talk about reparations. All right?
Cool. No
Yeah.
problem.
Whose turn was it? I think Solution. Did you want to respond? Because like, here's the thing. The whole bloodline thing. Yeah, it did sound like eugenics, but Amanda is correct when she said that education, healthcare, these things are what tend to lower the abortion rates. So shouldn't we be advocating for that than just saying that women are these unfettered whores who we don't care about and stuff like that? Like what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think proper health care is being educated on your partner's blood type.
Well, I think that Amanda's solution with the antigens is scientifically. I think that's a good one.
I'm sorry, Godless. I'm sorry, guys. Can you pause me for 1 second? What do you mean blood type?
Well, what Amanda was saying is that, some partners are incompatible and the woman would actually kind of like resist the pregnancy from happening because it's not supposed to.
I have a question for Amanda.
Yes, sir.
Because you seem to be an expert on this. Is it possible that you have two people that have checked their blood types and stuff like that, but because of some genetic material that's flowing within their system, that this incompatible antigen thing happens anyway?
Yes. Yeah, because it's like the roll, it's like the roll of the dice.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Exactly.
That's why I don't understand Solutions deal, because you can have a couple that are both white skinned and stuff like that, and then several generations down, you can have them both come out with a colored child because of genetic material from 6 or 7 generations back.
No, I'm talking blood type.
It's a crapshoot. There's no way that you can tell what's going to happen with this.
Yes, you can. There's positive and negative blood types, and they're incompatible if they're on the same side.
Solutions. We're talking about batteries when we talk about rhesus positive or negative.
Yeah.
So somebody that has rhesus negative, they have negative. Somebody that has rhesus positive has a positive and negative. So they still have the rhesus negative antigen.
No, but sometimes you have a kid that just has your bad chromosomes, and then sometimes during their checkups, you find out that the kid has a bad heart or things before the child is even born, and those are other reasons for an abortion.
Correct, but what I'm saying is let's solve the problem of blood type incompatibilities because we can check that.
Well, I think that Amanda said that we can. Yeah.
For other reasons,
The rhesus aspect is still going to happen no matter what you try to do.
No, that's not
It's
true.
rolling the dice.
It is true. It's 100% true.
Yeah.
Because like she said, one can be negative, one can be negative positive, or you can have two of them that are negative positive, and you can still end up with a negative child.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally rolling the dice. It's just like the gentleman said before about the amount of melanin in skin tone. Both of my parents were much lighter, but I did end up getting more of olive skin tone because guess what? We're Sicilian. like 3 generations back.
Amanda,
It happens.
I remember that
Amanda?
that mob movie that said that Sicilians are related to my people. Yeah. So,
We're all related to you,
Actually,
sir.
a lot of trading in Tunisia.
But Amanda,
okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Solutions. Have that be that one last thing because I want to get to life as a dream. Okay. Go ahead.
okay, so as far as I know, that is absolutely impossible to happen. So I would honestly check the validity of your father.
Sir, I'm a mutt. I literally, I do have Nigerian, I have native, I have like everything in Europe, and I do have like, I got a lot. So the validity of my family is that I'm American.
Yeah, it's in genetics is a huge roll of the die because like I'm of Haitian descent, right? So of course most of my genetics is from Western Africa, but for some reason I got Scotland. I have no idea why I got Scotland because my parents are from Haiti and we were colonized by the French. How did a Scotland guy get to my ancestry? I have no idea. It's a roll of the die, you know.
Well, see, I gotta say the same because my parents are both Haitian, and in my genetic line, I have Wales.
Yeah, how?
Like
I still don't know how. Yeah, I have no idea how. All right, guys, pause for me real quick. Life is a Dream. Want to talk about Life is a Dream? You still there?
He's there, but
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is. Okay, Life. How's it going? Okay, so you said that you disagreed with reparations. Is that right?
Yeah.
Solutions. If I'm not mistaken, did you also disagree with reparations?
It's weird about that. I just like because the black people who are asking for it, I think they are way too entitled.
Okay, yeah. So we can yeah. I threw my head back on that one too. All right, so we can go ahead and talk about it. All right, Life. Give me not give me a reason, but why are you against reparations?
Honestly, like, why should I have to pay for something that I didn't deal with? I didn't do. It was years ago, and it wasn't in me or my family.
Okay, yeah, you're not
So
paying.
why should I have to pay for something that I didn't do?
Great, you're not paying.
Right.
yeah, you're not paying.
Yeah, so you're not paying. So when it comes to reparations, like there's not going to be an FBI or an IRS agent that says, well, you have to pay your new reparations bill. Give me your visa and give me $500 so we can give to this black family down the block. That's not what's happening.
Tell that to our tax raise, then that will happen.
Well, listen, that's their thought process. That's why they were against Obamacare. You know, which
Obamacare
now
is not
they're
even
starting
helping
to
a lot
F
of
around
people right
and
now.
finding out.
Well, I can say like Obamacare really helped out my nephew and helped out a couple of people in my family who didn't have health care and that needed it. But as far as reparations go, yeah, sure, it does get paid through taxes. But guess who also pays taxes? I do.
Yes, exactly.
So you get tax rebates then.
So Life, were you aware that slave owners got reparations when the slaves were emancipated?
No. That was
Yes,
back then.
they did.
That's way before my time.
I understand that.
But they did.
It's still the history of the United States. It doesn't excuse anything in this conversation.
Actually, Life, let me ask you one more question. You said that you were in your 40s, right? So that means that you were like in the 80s. You were about like 16, 17 years old, if I'm not mistaken?
No, I was born in the 80s.
Oh, you were born in the 80s. Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. So this happened within our lifetime. Did you know that the Japanese got reparations?
From us attacking them in Pearl Harbor? Or no, when we had them in the
internment camps.
Internment camps.
Right. Yeah, they got reparations. So we have legal precedent for this. And number two, would you agree that the government has damaged the African American community?
Before, yes, and they still damage a lot of the communities right now.
Right. But specifically the African American community, did the government damage them?
They damage themselves too, so.
No, that's not what I'm asking. It's really a yes or no question. Did the government damage the African American community?
Yes, when they implanted.
Cool. So why shouldn't the government repair that?
They should have took care of that then. and I shouldn't have to pay for something that I didn't deal with. I'll be honest, and that's how I feel.
All right, but that it really does it's really not addressing the problem that I'm facing here. We both agree that the government damaged the African American community. So why shouldn't the government repair the damage that they caused? They should, right?
Yes, in a sense of, I've heard different ideas for reparations. So let me get this straight. What is your idea of reparations? Before I even, you know what I mean?
The same thing that the Japanese got.
They didn't deserve it though, the Japanese.
Yes, they did.
Heck no.
Yes, they did. There were people that weren't even part of the Japanese like spies that they thought of that ended up even in California.
Like us today, we're no part of it.
That a lot of them were Americans.
You could walk
They were
around.
patriots.
You could walk around. It's like being in Iraq. You don't know who is part of ISIS and who's not.
Is this Iraq though?
I'm giving you an example. So
Okay,
you don't
so
know who's who. So you're gonna.
You
be
get to take
careful.
people's rights because you're not sure.
I think that's what he's saying.
We're not responsible.
Okay, so let me get this straight. If the Japanese didn't deserve reparations and we don't know who's who, should that mean that every Middle Eastern person across the board should have gotten put in internment camps after 9/11? You guys are for taking away people's rights?
No, but they should have been better background checked.
They should have been better background checks. So the store that I go to down the block is owned by a guy, Muhammad. You're saying that he should have gotten arrested after 9/11?
No, but he shouldn't get any entitlements.
He shouldn't get any. What entitlements?
What entitlements did he get?
What entitlements did he get?
He's a refugee.
Same as the Japanese are getting.
So
right, the Japanese. What I'm saying is that the Japanese, because we locked them up in internment camps, and then because we took away their rights of American citizens, and because we did a horrible thing to them, we gave them
to us?
Hold on. This is what I'm saying to you, Solutions. The Japanese that we put in internment camps were not the Japanese that attacked Pearl Harbor. You understand that, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we put the Japanese in internment camps due to racism. And we damaged that community because a lot of them lost their homes, a lot of them lost their businesses, et cetera, et cetera. So because of that, the United States government repaired that community. When it comes to black people, not only did slavery happen, but redlining happened, and mass incarceration happened, et cetera, et cetera. All these things happened that damaged the black community, both economically and socially, and we never repaired it. You guys are saying that we shouldn't, and I'm asking why.
Okay, never mind. I think they should. But the government as a whole, like what we're doing for Japan, is shouldn't be happening.
And all right, we got that straightened out, but still, when we're talking about the reparations to the black people now, back when they were emancipated, according to the laws and stuff at the time, they were supposed to get property and the ability to farm and take care of themselves. And partway through the thing, they decided that they didn't need their property, and their property was basically taken from them. There are cases where it wasn't the government, but it was actually the people, like the Tulsa thing where they had their own Wall Street down there. And they didn't like the fact that they were getting ahead and doing things, so the American people burned them to the ground. There's also the GI Bill when they came back from World War II, where they were not allowed to use it. There's all this stuff that didn't allow them to garner generational wealth to hand off to their offspring, which the American people, the white people got it. Why is it that so they've had all that taken away from them?
So to add to that, I think what God was saying is absolutely correct. And the fact that Life thinks he shouldn't pay for it now, but he reaps the benefit of all the infrastructure that black people have built. You know, this
I have to say something
itself.
to what God said, because you mentioned school and you mentioned housing.
The GI Bill.
Mm-hmm. So those, sir, are two of the biggest reasons why Americans are currently in debt. So we did you a favor.
What do you mean did us a favor?
Because college debt and debt from your home are two reasons why people plummet.
You're
You're
coming
not
at
really explaining anything that was so solutions. I don't think you really understood what Gallus brought up. Gallus brought up the fact that hold on. Gallus brought up the fact that the GI Bill, which were given to soldiers in order for them to build up their lives, which we saw in the 50s that they used that to build up their lives, was a good thing for those white soldiers. The black soldiers the black soldiers were never allowed to do that. Not only that, white people were able to get like loans for homes, mortgages, etc., things like that. Black people were not allowed to do that due to redlining.
All I'm hearing is debt.
It doesn't matter if you're hearing debt. Our point is that the reason why the wealth gap between white people and black people the way it is right now is because of those policies. Because of those policies and not only that, when I'm talking about mortgages and stuff like that, that's with banks. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why the wealth disparity between black people and white people and why black people lived in more depressed areas is because of those policies, redlining policies that were done by banks and were actually in the law books by the governments. So the reason why hold on, listen. The reason, so white people are richer right now. They have better, they go to better schools, and that causes their progeny, their generations, to live better lives. Black people were cut off from that. That is a huge damage to the black community, and I'm asking, why shouldn't the government repair what they did?
Because the majority of white people are the ones who suffered from the debt that the rich white people put among all of us.
That's bullshit.
Please.
It's facts.
No.
It's a class thing. I mean, I'm not upper echelon white person. I'm like you guys.
Are you a white person?
So let me ask you something.
Where are you
Solution.
from?
I'm white, and I'm poor.
Where are you from?
Canada.
Do you know?
Okay, so yeah.
You're not even
Are you guys
you're discussing American
So you don't
policy,
even live in
you know?
America, bro? You live in
I feel
America?
nationally discriminated right now. Yeah, Canada is America.
You trolling me, bro. You trolling me. I'm about
Canada
to drop you
is
for real.
America.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that you really live in Canada. Where you live at?
I live in Michigan, man. I live in Michigan.
Are you from Michigan?
Oh, you
Okay,
goof.
cool. Dog, because I was really about to drop you, bro. Like for real, I was really about to drop
you got your hand on the trigger right now.
Yeah, I'm about to say like, dog, this bird said he's from Canada. I'm about to drop you, bro, for real. But like, what I'm saying is that you said that the white people suffered. No, they didn't, bro. Like again, the median wealth of the median wealth of who's more disproportionately in homeless white folks
people.
or black folks? No, they're not.
White by far.
No, there are more white people who are homeless by numbers, but by proportion, homelessness affects black people way more.
I live in the Bay Area, and you're absolutely right. It's mostly people of color, or your elderly white women that are homeless because they didn't get assistance. You know what I'm saying? So that's facts.
Yeah, they
I
didn't.
see it
They didn't have their own jobs. The Social Security didn't carry.
That's right.
Yeah, I get it. So
Yeah.
Hold on. I guess the point that he's getting at is that proportionately there are more white people in the United States, and disproportionately there are more poor whites in this country than anybody else. So maybe that's his point.
Right. No, I understand what he's trying to say. What I'm saying is that
per capita, it's wrong.
Per capita, you're saying there's more black homeless.
You're right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. As a group,
with that, but I
if
don't
you
know.
wanted to take a percentage of the black people, they would have a higher percentage of poor people within their own group than white people do in general.
That number works. That number, what God just mentioned, works both ways. So when they're saying there's more black people in prison, they're talking about percentage because there's obviously more white people in prison.
I agree with
but
that.
it's
Yeah.
the percentage. And then when they're always talking about black on black crimes, the truth to the matter is there's just as many whites committing crimes on whites disproportionately.
Right. Yeah, it's an 80-20 thing.
But because black people are only 14% of the United States population, it's a greater loss in that population.
I wanted to wrap around back to. I want to wrap around back to Life, but he dropped out. Sorry about that, Life. I want to wrap around back to you, but excuse me. But Solutions, what I'm trying to ask is, well, I already did ask. I want you to understand. Do you understand why I say that the government should be repairing the African American community? You understand why I say that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they should be repairing more than just you guys.
They should be
I
repairing
deserve
Native.
too.
They should be repairing Native Americans too. But like, what I would
And
say.
for white people.
Okay. Let me ask this: was there ever a policy, any type of policy or any type of law or anything that affected poor whites because they are poor white?
Yeah, disenfranchise them.
Yeah, I would say.
Which policy
borrowing
disenfranchise poor whites because they are poor white and not for any other reason?
The illusion that, getting these benefits of going to school, getting in debt, buying a home that you can't afford is a good thing.
All right, but like, I don't think you understood my solution. My question was, what policy or what government like action or policy negatively affected poor whites just because
only.
just because, like for example, in redlining, black people could not get a home. Like that was literally in the policy. Like, if you are a black person, you can't live here. You know what I'm saying? What I'm asking is something similar that happened to white people, poor white people, and only because you're a poor white person, you cannot do this.
Oh, okay. So because I'm a poor white person, I cannot afford a home.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's say
I don't think
that's
you
the
understand
case.
what I mean. I don't think you understand what I
Let me
mean.
hit him a little bit more.
Is that
I don't think you
affecting
understand what I'm
only
saying.
because you're white, or does that affect black people and Native people and Japanese people?
That affects
And-
everybody.
Right.
Yeah, but the way it affects me differently is I have the ability to be deceived into borrowing from the government and going worse into the grave.
All of that happens to all of us.
That happens. All
Right.
But you don't even get that
Are you-
opportunity.
Yes,
That's a
do.
benefit.
What are you talking about? What benefit do I
You
get for
just
being
said
black?
that you don't get those benefits.
What
You're
benefit?
not allowed to buy a home.
How do you know
this-
that?
Hold on. Everybody pause. Ronnie, I'm gonna let you go after I go. I'm just. Everybody
Okay.
pause. Yeah, I think he's Canadian for sure because
Yeah.
he doesn't seem to understand exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm gonna say it like this again. Okay, when redlining was a thing. Listen. When redlining was a thing, me as a black person, I cannot go to a bank and say I want a mortgage for a loan. It was illegal for me to
That's
do
a
that.
good thing.
Hold on,
That's
listen,
what I'm saying.
solution. Listen, bro. Listen. Be quiet for a second.
I already know all this, bro.
Okay, no. All right. So you said that you know all this, but you're not understanding it.
All of it.
So what I'm saying is that
You're not
hold on.
understanding. I
No,
promise.
you're not. All right, I'm about to drop you, bro, because you're trolling at this point.
I know you are. I know.
All right. So listen. What I'm asking, the question that I'm asking is, when has there ever been a policy for poor white people that said, you are a poor white person, you cannot get this benefit, or you cannot do this, or you cannot do that, because you are poor white? That happens to black people. When has it ever happened to poor white people?
Today. Because of affirmative
it's
action.
not happening
Ronnie, go
because
ahead.
you're white, though.
Ronnie, go ahead. Go ahead.
Affirmative
Ronnie.
action, brother. It's happening today.
Yeah, but to
Not
add to
because
the
you're white.
red lighting process, the red lighting, not only that you weren't able to live in certain communities, they wouldn't sell you a home. But if you got a loan, your interest rate on your home was even higher than someone else's. If you actually try to sell your home that you happen to get fortunate enough to own, it depreciated simply because you were black. They would not even sell it or wouldn't put it on the market for a comparable rate as a white person.
Yeah.
There's been stories of a person trying to purchase a home, having to use a white friend just to buy that same home at a lower rate. That would be, I would use solution to buy my home at a better rate simply because he's white. He doesn't get it.
I actually saw a news program where a black couple went and put their house on the market, and the realtor, and this was recent, realtor quoted them a certain price, and they said, no, that's not fair. And they went off and they changed all the pictures in the house from black to white. And they had white people go in there and act like that was their house. And they went back to another realtor, and they ended up getting like $150,000 more for the asking price of the house, just because it was under the assumption that it was a white person's home.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool.
Right. So so solutions. Your claim was that it's happening now through affirmative action, but we already been through this, bro, and I actually showed you the proof of it. Affirmative action mostly benefits white women, so that's not something that affects you as a poor white person.
It benefits everyone besides white people.
got dissolved, so that's out of the books right now. Anyway,
Can someone tell me what affirmative action is, please?
Affirmative action is a policy in the corporate world and in the federal government, and as far as federal contracts go, to increase diversity by not discriminating against people who are of color.
Bingo.
Or
not discriminating against not discriminating against people who are considered minorities, and white women are considered political minorities.
So I've heard you talk several times about the cost of college. No, you're getting shafted equally with everybody else, but you're not getting specifically shafted.
No, it's inequality now.
You know, you mentioned the cost of school and stuff like that. You realize that back in the 60s, it only cost like $150 for somebody to go to school. Somebody on a minimum wage job in the 70s could actually go to an Ivy League school working a minimum wage job 40 hours a week. They could afford their tuition.
You're living in the
past. You know where that
past.
came from?
no.
I'm not living in the past.
Listen, guys,
do you know where the policy came from that raised the cost of tuition and everything like that? Do you understand where that came from?
No, could you tell me?
It was, sure. During the Vietnam War, they were having protests against the war in California at the universities. And at the time, we had a governor there. His name was Ronald Reagan. And he had an advisor that said that having an educated proletariat was dynamite. And he was talking about educated workers like you and I. And so they formulated a way to start cutting the benefits, the budgets and stuff like that, and taking the money out of the schools so people couldn't get the scholarships and the grants, and raising the cost of tuitions in California schools as a way of getting the people out of the school so that they couldn't protest and use those places as a hub. So after that was successful and they turned, they basically quelled the thing, Ronald Reagan became the president of the United States, and they nationalized that policy. And they have been going runaway with that ever since, and that is the reason why college tuitions are so crazy right now.
Yeah, the elite whites. I agree.
Solutions like this is really gonna be the last questions before I drop it, because I really don't think you're understanding. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Has there ever been a government policy that negatively affected poor white people specifically because they are poor white? It literally said in the policy that poor whites cannot access this benefit.
Yep. Just, I guess, add on men right now. Affirmative action.
No.
Wrong answer.
Because all affirmative action says is to not discriminate against qualified minorities. How does that affect poor white people? If you're qualified, then you'll get the job, right?
No, you'll get a black unqualified person will get it even before me.
How would an unqualified black person get it before you if they're not qualified? All the policy says is to not discriminate against. Hold on. So solutions. You realize that all affirmative action said is to not discriminate against someone who's qualified. That's all it says, right?
Yeah, but
you know that, right?
loopholes and you're jumping right through them.
Tell me what the loophole is.
The loophole is instead of having equality for all, it's giving inequality to white people for everyone else to catch up.
Where does it say that in affirmative action policy? Where does it say that?
Well, it's the same as us having to pay for other people's reparations. We're losing for your.
I'm about to drop you because now you're literally not answering the question. I asked you in affirmative action policy, where does it say what you're saying? Where does it say that?
No, Volsi, I think he's suffering from the grievance rhetoric that's being spewed around. His real problem is against rich white people, but they've directed his anger towards black people in reparations, affirmative action, all the little things that help benefit the people who are subject to discrimination. White people
I agree with you, Ron.
are not being discriminated. You are not being discriminated upon. You just aren't amongst you're just not meeting the bar of your other white folks. And then they point a finger towards Hispanics, blacks, and say, this is the reason why you're not making it to the top. And you believe it.
No, I'm pointing at the top guys, and they're using us against each other. That's what's happening.
You're not talking like it, though.
Yeah, exactly. Because the moment I asked you what policy specifically discriminates against you for being a poor white person, you said affirmative action, and nothing in affirmative action says what you're saying. Nothing.
Yeah, because who's the controllers of it? Who created it? The rich white people. But it benefits you, not me.
All right. You have a great night. All right. Yeah, I've had enough of being trolled by Canadians. You have a great
That was wild.
Yeah, that was wild. I know that went on.
I had a feeling there was something wrong with that guy. That's why I asked the question.
Yeah, not a problem, man. Yeah. All right, guys. I do appreciate you guys being here. Again, everybody, follow who's on the panel. Give the panel. Very knowledgeable people. I've just met them all tonight, but they're all very, very knowledgeable people. Very nice guys. Y'all give them up and y'all follow them, please. I think I got through the entire queue. Yeah, there's no one else. I got through the entire queue. So I did say I was gonna go ahead and give it an hour and get off. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. All right, guys. But I do these every other day. My bad. Go ahead.
I just want to do what we do. Sakpase.
Nabule.
There you go.
Hey, it was nice meeting y'all.
That's being you too, guys. Drop me a follow. I'm gonna follow you guys all back. Gotcha. All right, and I appreciate you all being here. I do these every other day, so I'll be back on Tuesday, and we'll definitely talk more about it. All right.
All right.
Right on.
All right, I appreciate you guys. Later, guys. Also, everyone, I appreciate everyone for being here. Remember, TikTok is going to be ending soon, so check the link tree in my bio. I do have a YouTube. This is all gonna go on my YouTube. If you go to the live, I'm gonna have some highlights there as well. It did get a little wonky today, but not a problem. I appreciate you all being here. Jonesy, W my mod, y'all. W Jonesy. Give W's in the chat for Jonesy. She is wonderful, wonderful mod. She was able to get me through my queue. Again, check the link tree in my bio. I do have a YouTube. Check that out. I'll be posting some highlights up there.